The MLK assassination happened 50 years ago today. Get the first-hand reaction from a U of A student turned professor.
Two members of the basketball team make an announcement. Find out how this will affect the Hogs.
The University of Arkansas turns 1 year older. Find out tonight what it does to celebrate. UATV starts right now.
Hello and welcome to UATV News. I'm Ramsey Minto.
And I'm Maisie Vincent. Thanks so much for joining us. Well, today's the day to go all in for Arkansas. Today marks the University of Arkansas's 147th birthday, and UATV reporter Allie Lynch has more on how you can make a difference. Allie?
That's right, Macy. 147 years ago from today, the University of Arkansas was founded. I'm live here outside of the Union Mall, where earlier students and faculty had a big celebration for the launch of All In for Arkansas, the university's third annual day of giving. The goal is to unite the U of A family on campus and around the world and rally support for all that makes the Hill such a special place. The birthday celebration and online fundraising event is a party with a purpose that lasts 1,871 minutes in honor of the university's founding year in 1871. You can donate to the areas of campus you are most passionate about by going to allinforarkansas.com and click Give Now, as you can see at the top of your screen.
My parents got me to a certain point in life, and I had to kind of find my way the rest of the way, and Arkansas was the beginning of that adulthood for me. So this campus is everything to me.
Now, last year, All In for Arkansas raised a little over $400,000. And the way things are going today, it looks like they're going to beat that goal. Reporting live for UATV, I'm Allie Lynch.
Thanks, Allie. All In for Arkansas began at 6 a.m. this morning and will end tomorrow at 1:11. The School of Journalism and Strategic Media celebrates J-Days this week. If you're missing tonight's Q&A with Good Morning America correspondent and Arkansas alum T.J. Holmes, don't worry. He will be back tomorrow along with the vice president at Nickelodeon, the director of Slim Chickens, and the lead producer of Sunday Night Football. For more information, visit our website below.
The U of A's Bumpers College hosts a social media seminar, How It Joins and Separates Us. The event takes place Friday, April 6th at 11:50 in the morning in the Agriculture Building Room 332.
Well, Ramsey, this week weather sure keeps surprising us.
That's right, Maisie. Let's send it over to UATV's Seth Campbell to see what the rest of the week looks like. Seth?
Well, thank you, ladies. I know April Fool's was just a few days ago, but it seems like Mother Nature just can't stop playing mean tricks on us because it is cold here in Fayetteville today. Highs in the 40s. This is just crazy. Now, if you look at the 5-day forecast, you'll be able to tell that it is going to heat up, and it did get a little warmer today. You could tell in the sun that it wasn't bad, but that doesn't mean that it's going to stick around. Look into Friday night and Saturday night. 25 degrees Friday night, 28 on Saturday night. There's also going to be some storms moving in, and just see the temperature fluctuation. 63 a high, low of that 25. So make sure if you're trying to plant anything that you don't do that yet, hold off or else all your plants will freeze. Later on, it does heat up, and there is a slight warming trend as you look at the long term, but for right now, it's cold. We'll have more weather later on the show. Back to you ladies at the desk.
Thanks, Seth. 50 years ago today, a gunman cut Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s life short. Many celebrate this day across the nation, but one professor remembers experience the historical tragedy while he studied here at the U of A. UATV's Katie Davila tells us his story.
Good evening. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, 39 years old and a Nobel Peace Prize winner, and the leader of the nonviolent civil rights movement in the United States, was assassinated in Memphis tonight.
Some people were crying and distraught, and some were just left dumbstruck. You know, how could this happen?
On April 4th, 1968, outside of a Memphis, Tennessee hotel, the country was sent into a frenzy, leaving people like Professor Gerald Jordan, a U of A journalism student at the time, in disbelief.
I just really felt that this was progress stopped. You know, the civil rights movement had been dealt just a lethal blow. It was just kind of a numbing event that here I'm trying to write something about this or cover this, And still, I'm, stuck with that just overwhelming feeling of loss.
50 years later, the country still mourns the death of Dr. King, but now this day of remembrance is used as a symbol and a significant day to continue teaching King's lessons.
All I can remember is some voice saying, one bullet cannot kill a movement. We must keep going. If you keep players hurt on the field, you can't forfeit the game. And you have to internalize your pain and keep marching, keep moving. And we've had to be faithful to his charge 50 years later.
Tomorrow, on this 50th anniversary, people all over the country will remember King's legacy. The Northwest Arkansas Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Council and the U of A are observing tomorrow as a day of peace. Events on campus will begin at 10 a.m. in Mullins Library, the live stream of the National Civil Rights Museum's Day of Remembrance. At 3:30 in Hillside Auditorium, the public is invited to watch the museum's official 50th anniversary ceremony, featuring a laying of the wreath and remarks from civil rights leaders. And at 6:01, the U of A will join churches and campuses across the nation by ringing the bells of Old Main 39 times, one for each year of King's life.
The loss of Martin Luther King affected many. People across the nation celebrate his memory by calling today a day of remembrance.
The Fayetteville Public Library plans to host a Pulitzer Prize winner. Colson Whitehead wrote The Underground Railroad, which won him the prestigious award in 2017. He will speak at the Fayetteville Public Library on April 27th at 7 in the evening.
And the lectures don't stop there. University programs host the 2010 Last Comic Standing winner, Philip Esperanza. He appeared on the All Things Comedy Network, and most know him for the recent special, They're Not Gonna Laugh at You. This lecture takes place tomorrow at 8 in the evening in the Verizon Ballroom at the Arkansas Union. A multicultural sorority helps celebrate diversity.
Keeping in mind that their culture is just part of who they are.
Find out how these women plan to spread cultural awareness.
The U of A Chancellor wants your input. Find out how you can let your voice be heard.
Yale's is fresh at its best. Quality is essential for our success, and of course, we try to focus on that and making sure that every bite that you take out of our tacos is going to actually transport you to the different regions of Mexico in an instant. The street tacos that you will find in Yale's are top quality. We utilize local sustainable practices for our farming operations. So our cilantro, our spring onions, our lettuce, pretty much all the ingredients that you find with us are fresh. You should come to eat at Yale's because we are Mexico's simple food in Northwest Arkansas.
Our doors are open to everyone. We have everything from professional lifters to casual lifters. The idea is to take that stigma that these old school gyms are an intimidating environment and change that, because they're the exact opposite. We can offer people dietary advice to help them achieve their goals that way. Lifting advice as far as how they train. And I treat all my clients the same way. I treat them like athletes. So we all train the same way in here. We're a real gym. We want everybody to know that yes, yeah, we got weights here, and yeah, we got loud music here, but those things aren't bad. Yeah. It's it's actually a motivating environment.
Freedom is a beautiful thing, and you should never take your First Amendment rights for granted. But the act of expressing your deepest beliefs and challenging the deepest beliefs of others That's called bravery. We are free. So let's be brave.
A multicultural sorority hosts an event over hashtag Stand Up for Equality.
UATV's Chloe Matthews covered the event, and it got her wondering what students can do to be more culturally aware. She's live with more. Chloe?
Thanks, y'all. I'm live outside the Union where I learned a little bit about cultural awareness. Cultural awareness is understanding the difference between yourself and people from other countries or backgrounds. There are some steps you can take to create this awareness, and the first step is to educate yourself. You can educate yourself by attending culturally diverse events like the one Gamma Eta hosted. Step 2 is to share. Encourage yourself and others to share their culture with those around them. And step 3 is to be open-minded. Approach all things with an open mind to allow yourself to be free of judgment. I had one student remind me that at the end of the day, we are all human.
Going ahead and showing everybody your culture and just being open-minded and understanding that we're different. Yes, we come from different places. We have grown in different backgrounds, but we're still people. We are similar in so many different ways.
Escobar also says that it's important for all people to understand what cultural diversity is, which means the existence of a variety of cultural or ethnic groups within a society. Reporting live for UATV, I'm Chloe Matthews.
Thanks, Chloe. The university remains a culturally diverse campus with over 100 countries being represented.
The Walton Study Abroad program announced the winners of its social media photo contest.
Earlier in the semester, Walton encouraged students to submit photos with 5 different categories.
To see all the photo entries, you can visit the Walton Study Abroad Instagram to check them out.
The Chancellor wants to hear what you have to say.
Yep, Chancellor Joseph Steinmetz plans to host a Chancellor's Chat to get feedback from faculty and engage in small group discussions.
The event takes place April 13th at noon. If interested in chatting with the Chancellor, you can RSVP by 4 p.m. April 10th. College can be overwhelming at times. Find out how one holistic approach to stress relief could benefit you.
And it's no joke, you could actually have some snow this weekend. I'll tell you all about it when UATV returns.
Whatever.
We can't see everything.
Some things are invisible.
Our bodies are made up of over 7 billion atoms, but we can't see them.
Our lives revolve around time, but none of us can physically see it.
Oxygen is essential for every breath, but it's never been seen.
We can feel the wind, but can't see exactly where it's going or where it's been.
And half of all college students are infected with some form of an STD. But you can't see that either. STDs like gonorrhea and chlamydia can go undetected until you are tested.
Be responsible for your health. Get tested today.
Welcome back to UATV. Let's take a look right now at your weather. So this is the current surface. So as you can tell right here in Arkansas, there's not a lot going on, but clear skies have made the weather really cold. As I said earlier, low pressure system and a high pressure system kind of meeting, causing a few storms out over the Rocky Mountains. But what we're really looking at here as from a national perspective is look at that in the Northeast. That's some snow happening. That's kind of, it's just crazy for me to think about. We're in April, spring's already here, but they're getting snow, and there is a possibility of snow here in Arkansas. We'll take a look at the next map. You'll be able to see current temperatures around our country, or 48-hour snowfall, whichever one, because we're really talking about how this band has gone across the Central America and across Northeast, and that's just really gonna bring about these colder temperatures. And don't be surprised come Friday night that this doesn't kind of move down. Now this is just snow, so we're not talking about freezing temperatures or anything like that, so that could become a factor for us here in Arkansas as well. That's all the time. We'll have more weather later on the broadcast, but back to you ladies at the desk.
This nasty weather rolls out just in time for Saturday's Farm to Table 5K. It's hosted by the U of A's Environmental Science Graduate Student Club. The race takes place at 8:30 in the morning with a 1-mile fun run to follow. Proceeds will benefit the U of A's Full Circle Food Pantry.
Some college students experience many different levels of stress. UATV's Lauren Jackson is live with how one activity could help reduce stress. Lauren?
Thank you, Maisie. I'm live here on campus where as college students, we experience many different kinds of stress, from sleepless nights to test after test. Some students even use medication to aid some of these problems, but I found out about one holistic approach that can benefit you more than you might think. Now, the practice of yoga is a workout that originated from ancient India that can benefit your mind, body, and soul. Researchers have found that practicing yoga can promote relaxation, reduce stress, and improve your focus. Studies say that it's a simple way to listen to your body and get in tune with yourself. Many people think that yoga can't do much for them, but the practice has even been known to improve something as simple as your energy levels and even your sleep.
A college student is the prime candidate for someone who literally takes on stress in the body. Like when you walk around campus, you can see people like walking like this, whether they're holding a heavy backpack or looking down at their phones. A lot of reading, all of these actions here that physically start to accumulate in them.
Now, if you're interested in yoga but not quite sure if you have the time or the money, yoga is not something that can be done, or not something that has to be done from a studio or a class. This is a practice that students can do at home or even for just a few minutes a day. Now, many people have began supporting the practice of yoga, including former President Barack Obama. And if yoga is good for Barack Obama and can help with his stresses, I bet it can help here on the U of A campus as well. Reporting live for UATV, I'm Lauren Jackson.
Studios around town like Yoga Dizal offer many discounts for college students, and the Campus Wellness Center holds free yoga classes for all students.
Coming up in sports, the Razorbacks as of lately just haven't been playing their normal high-caliber baseball. Find out what they can do to get back on track. Bad news for Razorback fans is 2 role players for the Hogs basketball team are transferring. Find out who coming up next.
Boxy is a subscription box service. So you go online and you order a box of toys and treats for a cat or a dog, and every box that you get, we send one to a shelter. And in that shelter box will have toys and treats and also supplies that the shelter needs. We pack all of our boxes ourselves. We hand select all of the products that we put in it, and a lot of time and care goes into making sure that each box is tailored to your pet. We've got boxes for small dogs, medium, large dogs. Don't just spoil your own pets, but also pets in the community that are in need as well. We're trying our hardest to give back to our communities that have made us successful. And one of the ways that we let you give back to your communities is through Boxy. You can actually go to the shelter and see the impact that you have had on the shelter pets. And that's huge.
This is Uatv.
Hello everyone, I'm Sven Larson. Let's talk sports. Well, if you were watching the Razorbacks on the Diamond last night, then you were up late. The Hogs endured an extra inning game in which they would pull out the dub on the night. Arkansas used 4 different pitchers and did not look sound defensively. They had 4 errors and gave up 8 runs to a not-so-hot Louisiana Monroe team. Nonetheless, they got the W and move on to 20-9 overall on the season. Here with me, I have the Sports Advantage's Stephen Erbacher to discuss the struggles that the Razorbacks have had. Well, Stephen, besides Blaine Knight and Casey Murphy, what is going on with our bullpen? It seems like we can't seem to find a midweek starter or a sure-handed closer.
Well, I don't believe there's any reason to stress too much about the bullpen. As you mentioned, the outfield and infield, our whole defense has been making a lot of errors lately. The Razorbacks defense needs to clean that up for sure. But there's a big homestand to do that, and they'll be against Auburn here soon this weekend, and I think they'll really start to get back on track.
Well, what do the Hogs need to change in order to prove their top 10 ranking?
So they just need to keep playing offensive baseball. That's what they've been doing all season, and we found that out right after the second game when they tacked on 32 runs, if we remember that. And so Arkansas will be at home, and they just have to keep winning at home. They played a couple of tough road series, but back at home, they'll turn it around.
What is the talent level of this team, and how can they turn themselves around after 2 conference road series losses?
Right, so those 2 conference road losses happen to be against 2 of the best teams in all of the country. This is SEC ball, and so they're against the best of the best. But the Arkansas team, they need to focus on offense as they average 8 runs a game so far this season, and as long as they keep the offensive hot, they'll be all right.
Well, thanks for coming on and giving us your wonderful insight, Stephen. Hope to see you again soon. Well, I got some bad news for you basketball fans. C.J. Jones and Darius Hall are for sure transferring from the University of Arkansas. Jones and Hall last year were the 2 most productive options for Mike Anderson coming off the bench. Jones averaged 6.3 points per game, while Hall averaged 5.1. Earlier today, Mike Anderson released a statement that said, "Darius and CJ have decided to transfer from our program. I appreciate them coming to the University of Arkansas and wish them the best moving forward. The Razorbacks can only hope now to replace those players with more of the same or higher caliber." Well, that's all the time we have here for sports. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night to catch up on all your daily news. Coming up, we have one last look at your weather.
I believe that a lot of us come into college not really sure of what we want to do. You don't really know what path you need to take, and I feel a lot of us feel like that, taking one step or the other. We feel unsure about a lot of things. And somebody advised me to go to the Career Development Center and get connected with a coach. So I did.
Hey Brittany, how are you?
She was able to give me resources such as a negotiation workshop, resume workshops, as well as complete mock interviews. You're able to sit down with a professional and they give you feedback on how you're doing, how your responses are, and what you need to work on as well. I do believe that the Career Development Center is a great resource for students because you learn all of those soft skills that you don't necessarily learn in the classroom. I was fortunate enough to get an internship with Cameron. I got a co-op with Walmart International and then Walmart Logistics Engineering, which led me to my current position at Sam's Club. I definitely believe that the Career Development Center and the Career Track Razorback program helps students develop into the professional they need to become, regardless of whatever major they have chosen.
Tango Press is a place where customers can come and realize their dreams about their packaging, starting from scratch, just an idea, and ending up with completed packaging that they can get to the marketplace in a very short period of time. It's a company, a place where innovation happens, where ideas can come to life. One of the things that we want to be different about Tango Press is that we want to love on our customers and we want to be able to help them solve the problems that they have with their packaging or their products. The main thing that makes us different is we're independent. We're not owned by a conglomerate or an integrated company when it comes to corrugated, so we're free to serve everybody at the same level and give everyone the most excellent service possible.
We built the business to be an innovation center for people to bring good ideas and for us to bring them to life. So it's an interesting aspect of the business that you can't really find anyplace else. We built the business with the expectation of heavy degrees of involvement with our customers. It's a very iterative process for us. So there's a high degree of innovation and interaction with our customers, and that's not typically found in the traditional printing industry today.
Welcome back to UATV. Let's take one last look at your weather. Right now, if you look at this map, it says 58 degrees in Little Rock. It was a little while ago, so the temperatures have actually dropped. And if you take a look really at the next map, this is the one that I really want to point out to you. It is temperature change. And if you'll be able to see that you'll really be able to see a cold front that has moved all over the eastern United States. All warm out here in the west, -9, -16 degrees in Nashville. Well, that's all the time we have right now for your weather. But back to you ladies at the desk.
The Fayetteville City Council passed a bill that will increase the pay scale for firefighters and police officers. The measure approves over $1.8 million towards citywide pay raises for the rest of the year. The bill plans to bring the salaries of firefighters and police up to the level of other cities in Arkansas and surrounding states.
The long-awaited Springtime of Youth Festival takes place on April 28th, and the U of A suggests that students begin reserving tickets on April 7th.
This year's headliners include Galantis, Bleachers, and Lil Dicky. Students can reserve tickets beginning at 10 in the morning by going to osa.uark.edu. Well, I don't know if you knew this, but today is also National Hug a Newsperson Day.
Oh, love you, Ramsey.
Love you too.
Shout out to all the other newsmakers in Arkansas.
Absolutely. That'll do it for tonight here at UATV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ramsey Minto.
And I'm Maisie Vincent.